Assalamu alaikum everybody. Inshallah you're all doing well. I miss you so much. Being away from you guys is probably the hardest part of this quarantine, subhanallah. But inshallah you guys are having fun and doing some fun things. I've been going on a little bit of walks around my neighborhood. It's been kind of fun just to get a little bit out of the house and be in just the fresh air for a little bit. So you guys could try doing something like that, inshallah. But yeah, let me know what you guys are doing. I'm always available if you guys ever want to call me or FaceTime or just send me a quick little text letting me know what you guys are up to. Just for a little bit of company, I'm always around, inshallah. So today we are going to learn about Asmaa bint Yazid. And she is one of the coolest companions of the Prophet, subhanallah. So her nickname was the woman's representative. And that was because she was really outspoken, mashallah, and she had no problem going to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and asking him questions about things she didn't really understand or things she just wanted more information on. And so she was a scholar in hadith and mujahida. So as I said, she really tried to get as much information as she could as possible and implement it into her life, mashallah. And she was very courageous. She wasn't really scared of a lot of things, which mashallah is such an amazing quality to have, because she had full faith in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And so she took part in the battle of Yarmouk, which she was along with many other women, as we learned last week's Halaqa. And so she took part in the battle by preparing different weapons for the men to use in the fights and giving drinks to the mujahideen, treating the wounded, and encouraging the warriors. So she was always really there to kind of do whatever needed to be done, make sure everybody was prepared and ready to go for whatever part of the battle they were taking part of. And she also actually took part in the actual fighting, and she killed 9 Roman warriors. Which, I mean, whoa, that's really crazy, subhanallah. And so, she partook in this battle for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and she got injured in her back. And so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala kind of took care of that a little bit, and he let her live for another 17 years after that injury. And, she lived a really long life, mashallah. So along with being known as the woman's representative and being able to approach the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ for any questions she had, she also had this really strong personality, and people loved to be around her. And so her curiosity and her ability to be a little bit more outspoken and ask the Prophet ﷺ questions helped not only her but the other women in her community gain more information, because some women weren't as comfortable approaching the Prophet or different companions about different things that they didn't really understand. And so her curiosity and her ability to reach out really helped not only her but her entire community, mashallah. And so one day the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he was sitting with just a group of his companions, and she came up to him and she asked him a question. And I'm going to read the question because it's kind of long, and then I'll explain it. So she said, "I'm an emissary from women to you. God has sent you as his messenger to both men and women. We believe in you and your Lord, yet we women are restricted and homebound with our responsibilities. You men have been favored over us with attending congregational prayer, visiting the sick, attending funerals, and fighting for God's cause. When a man goes out intending the pilgrimage or jihad, we take care of your property, sew your clothes, bring up your children for you. Do we have a share of the reward?" So basically, she was going to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and she was saying, as women, we do so much for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and for you, O Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We stay home and we cook and clean and we take care of the homes, we take care of the children, and these men, they get so many other roles and responsibilities and kind of rewards. They get to go out and fight in battles, they get to go to funerals, they get to go to these different pilgrimages, they get to pray at the masjid, they get to do all of these amazing things, and we're kind of stuck at home. How come? And what kind of rewards do we get as Muslim women? What kind of roles do we get to experience within the community? And so the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he loved that question so much. And so he looked to his companions and he went, have you ever heard of a better question from a woman about her faith and about her role in her deen? And they were so taken aback. They said, no, this is such a beautiful question, and we've never heard somebody be so like compassionate and like care so much about her role in deen and how it's going to affect her. And so they really just kind of valued her opinions. And so the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he responded to her and he said, please go back and tell the other women who stand at your back, the good deeds of one of you to her husband is equal to a man's good deeds. And so his response was basically saying, you taking care of your family and you taking care of your husband and taking care of your home is equal to the good deeds that every other man gets for all of his other responsibilities and his roles and the things that he does. Because although at that time they didn't really get to do the same things and they weren't equal in the different roles that they did, they still got the same rewards because everybody had a different role that they had to play to keep the community going and to keep kind of the system running, mashallah. So my question for you guys this week, it's about how you think you can balance being a really modest but still outspoken kind of person. So mashallah, we see that Asmaa, she had no problem approaching the Prophet about questions that she had, and she was really willing to kind of reach out and get as much information as she could, but then she was still modest and humble in the way that she approached the Prophet and how she did different things. So how do you guys think that you guys can be modest but still outspoken in your communities, in your families, within your friends? Do you think that you're a little too loud and sometimes it can be hard to convey what you're trying to say? Or do you think that you're maybe a little too soft-spoken and a little bit more quieter? Do you think you need to stand up a little bit more and say what you want to say? So I know that's something that I struggle with, because sometimes I get really excited over something that I'm like shouting and screaming and really excited that nobody wants to listen to me. Nobody wants to hear what I'm saying because it hurts their ears and they're like, please stop. But sometimes I have friends who, when we're together, they kind of shy away and they're a little bit quieter, and so we don't get to hear what they have to say, but they have amazing things to say. So I want you guys to try and focus on finding that balance between being outspoken and being confident but still humble in the way that you're doing things. So that's what I have for you guys on Asmaa bint Yazid, and inshallah I have another video for you guys about another really cool companion of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam coming up, so keep an eye out for that, inshallah. I love you guys. Assalamu alaikum.